स्पॉटलाइट में आपका स्वागत है। मैं हूं आपकी होस्ट अमीता। Join me weekly as I talk to inspiring guests who will share their success stories. आज हमारे साथ स्टूडियो में है an internationally renowned scientist, innovator, entrepreneur, and teacher in the field of technology for sustained development. He's the Vice Chairman and CEO of Process Research Ortec Inc. and the current chair of Canada-India Foundation. Despite all his success, this humble leader stays grounded and continues to be actively engaged in the academic world as adjunct professor of material science and engineering at the University of Toronto. It is my honor to welcome to our studio Dr. V.I. Lucky Lakshmanan. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much for inviting us. Thank you very much.
Right. Sir, congratulations on all your achievements. We are really proud that a member of the Indian diaspora is not only being part of progress in global technology, but also taking on projects to help our community.
Thanks for inviting.
Okay.
Through people like you, we reach out to the community. Mm-hmm. And as you rightly say, we in the civil society have a responsibility. We can't wait for the government, we can't wait for private sector to carry all the messages. We in civil society have to play our role, working together and do whatever little we can for continued development of our community.
Very well said, sir. So we want to find out about all the exciting projects on the horizon, but we want to find out before that a little bit more about you, like where you grew up, what your educational background is. So if you could tell us more.
Amitha was born in Tamil Nadu, and after my early education moved to Bombay, which is where I did my university education, got my PhD from Bombay University. After getting my PhD, moved to England and got an offer to be initially a research fellow, then became a lecturer at the Department of Minerals Engineering. And can also say, Amitha, I was one of the first to have a postgraduate degree from India.
Yes.
And become a lecturer in a British university in Birmingham University.
Amazing
Which was a
achievement.
recognition that Indian qualifications are acceptable for carrying on, which is a message to India. India today is a powerhouse in education with the demography and all that. And the story is continuous. So we had an opportunity in England to teach. After spending about 6 years in England, me and my wife moved from England to Canada. Initially as a research fellow with the Canadian government, then moved to a company called Eldorado Nuclear, making reactor fuel and mining uranium. That took me to parts of Canada which normally South Indians like you and I don't get an opportunity.
Very true. Yeah.
Went to work under 60th parallel, north of Lake Athabasca in Saskatchewan, and so worked in the mining industry, then came and joined a company called Ontario Research Foundation, ORTEC, a technology development institution funded partially by Government of Ontario. So that's my little story. And then that institution in 1999, Amitha, was privatized by our former Premier, Honorable Michael Harris. And few people bought that institution, a company called Bodycode from England, and some entrepreneurs from Canada bought part of the institution. So today I own part of that old Ontario Research Foundation.
Wow.
Focusing on sustainable development, clean technologies, developing technologies and commercializing technologies for mining industry, chemical industry, specialty chemical. That's what we do.
Amazing. It's quite inspirational. Somebody who comes from Tamil Nadu all the way to Canada. I must say, it is a feat that a lot of us get scared to venture into. But like you rightfully said, India is a powerhouse of education, and what's happening there is acceptable now elsewhere.
Absolutely.
But I have to ask you, did you have any challenges along the way, being that South Asian, and in that too, not in these times? You came many years ago.
Well, Mita, in life, challenges come, but India teaches you to adapt. As a Tamilian coming to Mumbai, full of Maharashtrians, still you adapt and achieve your desired goals. It's the same story Indians have been doing for years and years. Wherever they went, they succeeded, whether it's commerce or whatever it is. And that is a story you and I carry. That whether we come from India to England or India to Canada, except today this community is much larger. We've got 1.2 million Indians living in Canada, this great God's country I call Canada, with a population of 35 million, 1.2 million out. But the uniqueness the Indian, we Indians have, I'm a Canadian, you are a Canadian, is we adapt and succeed. Because we always have lived amongst people speaking many languages. In Mumbai, of course, the whole India lives in Mumbai, whether it is Marathi or Gujarati or Tamil, whatever it is. So you accept, adapt and grow. And that is the synergy you obtain. Living in Canada, you bring in the same synergy here. This country, the God's country, is also multi-ethnic, multilinguistic, and we do our best to bring the synergy to bring the success story to this great country.
Very well said. And you are a living example, and you're inspiring others. And you're also inspiring others beyond that by being chair of the Canada-India Foundation. Spotlight में फिर से आपका स्वागत है. We are talking to Dr. V.I. Lucky Lakshmanan. So Dr. Lakshmanan, we were just talking about you being the chair of Canada-India Foundation. Please enlighten our viewers about Canada-India Foundation, how it came into being and what are its goals.
Thank you very much for giving us an opportunity to talk about this great institution, Amitha. We have institutions promoting commerce, and cultural institutions are there. You have Chamber of Commerce, you have Bharati Kala Mandram. So cultural institutions are there, and institutions to promote commerce and trade we have. But together we felt there was a wide space on public policy and advocacy. If we have to move along the ethnic community to get fully integrated and our needs fully expressed to elected officials, you need to have an institution which focuses on public policy and advocacy. And commerce can be a part of the public policy, but public policy needs to go beyond commerce, space of commerce and culture. Recognizing this, about 8 years back, many senior people in the community came together to form this institution, Canada-India Foundation, with the objective of working in the space of public policy advocacy and also getting connected with our elected officials and, of course, working with the private sector and reaching out to our community members. But this institution deliberately is not a grassroots organization. It is, as our past convener, Mr. Aditya just said, it is a network of networks because the members in this institution are all senior people living here for the last many years. So, with a focus on connecting, working with the elected officials, officials in Ottawa, Ontario, Vancouver, wherever it is, and also, of course, civil society leaders like Dr. Dubey and other people. So we become an institution, but we work at a larger issues, creating the level playing field. You know, when issues like SEPA and all came, we work with them. And then we have a Canada-India Parliamentary Committee, work with the parliamentarians in Ottawa, working with people like Patrick Brown and Minister Gosal. So we work with the senior people, express our need and interest and challenges, issues that we want to work with. Same way we work with the government officials in Ontario, Deepika Demirla, we work very closely, Eric Hoskins and all. And on issues, for example, one issue that we always need to address upon is ashes. Our elders. So because of our connectivity, we're able to present these issues to elected officials. So the focus is public policy and advocacy, and towards that we organize summits and forums.
forums. Okay.
These we have been regularly doing, Amitha. We'll choose subjects which are of strategic advantage to both countries, Canada and India. India is a growing economy of 1.2 billion, growing at a rate of 7 to 8%. Canada, I call it a God's country with resources. Not only resources the Lord has provided, whether it's mining or energy or whatever it is, but also the skill set that is needed to take the resources, create wealth and jobs.
To tap into.
Tap it in.
Yeah.
So whether it's engineers, environmentalists, chemists, scientists, and we have good institutions, universities, for bringing engineers and scientists, and through them, whether it is mining or energy or renewable energy, we have the skill set available. So not alone we dig a hole in the ground, but also we know how to make value. I mentioned about El Dorado Nuclear. Canada is one, which today is Cameco. Canada is one of the very few countries in the world, Amitha, which can give end-to-end solution in the nuclear field. Many countries may have a knowledge in terms of nuclear reactors and all, but they import the fuel from other countries. Canada, along with another country, Russia, is the only country where we have rich resources like Cameco, uranium mining, but also the reactor technology to generate power, our can-do. So end to end, we have that know-how and experience, not alone mines, but also the skill set. So we did that on the energy. Amitha. We brought people from India, Montek Singh Ahluwalia, Kirit Parekh, Paddy Padmanabhan, CEO of Tata's, connected them with people like Jerry Grandy, chairman of Cameco, Duncan Hathorn of Bruce, and people from Enbridge at a senior level. And so they got an opportunity to discuss. And today, when Modi ji came, Cameco signed the deal with India in presence of our Prime Minister to give them nuclear fuel. Cool. So it is a long story.
So it's like a bridging the two countries together at all levels. Absolutely. And like you said, God's country has all in one spot.
Exactly.
So that's amazing with CIF, what it's doing. Yes. And you talked about the different forums, and we know there's a very exciting forum coming up, the Healthcare Summit. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Absolutely. Very kind of you to ask that question, Amitha. The earlier forums were all in the economic space, commerce space, in energy, mining, agriculture, and infrastructure, creating jobs and everything else. And Canada-India Foundation, as I said earlier, is a public policy institution. So we go beyond commerce and economy. So we decided to focus on social policy. To that, the coming forum we have taken as healthcare. As you know, Canada is the envy of the world. We give the universal healthcare to all the citizens, whether rich or poor, young or old. We give quality care in Canada. This is a policy developed by our levels of government and government providing funding, institution delivering the service. We have a unique story to tell, universal healthcare and our delivery. And in India, 1.2 billion people, and Modi ji now saying he wants to give quality care to every citizen. India also has the powerhouse of IT and also big hospitals providing this service. And the middle class, about 400, 500 million people, their expectation on everything is pretty demanding. So we thought there's a major opportunity. India with health tourism, IT, there's an alternate healthcare, the yoga and Ayurvedic and all that.
Yeah, there's
and
multiple disciplines of health.
Exactly. And generic drugs, India exports. Canada is the second largest, India is the second largest provider of generic drugs to Canada. So we thought there's a lot of synergy. Both countries can come together. In Canada, a major portion of the government's revenue is spent on healthcare and education. You are looking for opportunities for efficiency. How can you bring the cost down? India is the powerhouse of IT. So there may be opportunity for the IT know-how to come work on e-health and digital health and all that.
So is that what the Healthcare Summit is bringing to us?
Yes, Healthcare Summit, Amitabh, will discuss upon rural, distant healthcare, long-term care, generic drugs, digital e-health, and diseases specific to South Asians. In the 35 million population of Canada, 1.2 million Indians living.
And it's growing.
Growing.
Yeah.
And they have challenges on diabetes, stroke, heart attack and all that.
Okay.
And they're focusing on that in a major way. We are bringing eminent experts from Canada, speaking in a session on South Asian diseases, and bringing people from India, Apollo Hospital and Hinduja Hospital, Meenakshi Mission. And
So from all over.
all over.
And that's amazing. Welcome back to Spotlight. We are talking to Dr. V.I. Lucky Lakshmanan. So, sir, we were talking about the upcoming healthcare summit. So now tell us, what can the audience expect? What kind of speakers are going to be present there?
It's a good question. We are getting eminent people from public sector and private sector. Eric Hoskins, the Honorable Eric Hoskins, our Minister for Health, will be opening the conference. Deepika Damel, Associate Minister for Long-Term Care, will be a speaker. We'll have from the private sector people like Jeremy Desai, CEO of Apotex, we're very privileged that he'll be speaking in the first session. Prabha Jha, an eminent expert on public policy and healthcare, will be a speaker. From India, we are very pleased to say the major hospital, Apollo and Hinduja, are sending senior officials. Rahul Reddy, Senior Vice President from Apollo. Then we're also getting Mr. Khanna, the CEO of Hinduja Hospital, is going to be speaking. Also, Rajiv Modi, the CEO of Cadila, he is going to be speaking. They're very privileged. And then a doctor who developed the composite material for artificial leg, Dr. Narendranath, who used to work with President Kalam, he will be coming to speak. We have got Meenakshi Hospital, which is focusing on rural healthcare. We'll have the CEO of that. So it is a combination of people who deliver the service and also develop policies for efficient delivery of these services to the community. So we are very blessed. We'll have nearly 70 speakers
Wow.
from both countries.
It's like you said in segment 2 that we were talking about how there are people who are making groundbreaking, news or projects, and it's the Canada-India file almost on healthcare. Totally.
That's correct.
So, audience, we have the upcoming healthcare summit. So when is that taking place?
Amitha, the summit will happen on May 19th and 20th at King Edward Hotel in downtown Toronto, and the dinner will be on 19th at Royal York Hotel. And there, as I said earlier, we want to also reach out to the grassroots community people. So we are trying to bring people from the community besides the delegates who attend the conference. So the healthcare is an issue which is common to everybody.
And to
so we want to
everybody.
connect them with all the experts.
Amazing. So that's what CIF provides, a lot of forums that are bringing Canada and India together. Now, beyond that, Dr. Lakshmanan gives a lot back to the community, and you have rightfully received the Queen Elizabeth Diamond Jubilee Medal. You are also the founder and the president of Sringeri Vidya Bharati Foundation. So that's one of the community projects. So tell us a little bit more about that.
I'm the president of Sringeri Vidya Bharati Foundation. There was a time when people used to go to Pittsburgh, 300 miles, to do prayer and come back. But of course, in Toronto now we have many temples. And the Sringeri Vidya Bharati Foundation brings a unique opportunity. You have a place of worship and also a community center together. So what we are emphasizing is it is not only enough offering prayer, but also participate, providing opportunity, building up good citizens. So we have a community center and Sringeri Vidya Bharati Foundation Temple. The uniqueness is here, it is connected to the Sringeri in India. As you know, Adi Shankaracharya came reviving the Hinduism, and he established institutions in the four corners of India. One is in Sringeri, and this institution is uniquely blessed that is connected with the Sringeri institution in India. And we have a temple focusing on the worship and prayer and giving discourses and lectures, but also a community center where we help people with practicing yoga, teaching them dance, music, and a big auditorium where we arrange lectures and all. So it is not enough to have a a place of worship, but also serve the community and work with citizens. We do healthcare camp, we do the youth camp, we do the senior citizens camp. So it is a place where not only you have a place of worship, but also a community center where the community comes together. We got leading artists from all over India coming and performing. So it is connecting with the GTA community and giving them a comfort zone, and training the children.
And keeping the culture alive.
Absolutely.
And then helping them adapt to culture.
Absolutely right, absolutely.
Dr. Lakshmanan, you are truly inspirational. I could keep talking to you more, and I am so happy to have talked to you about all the things we talked about today, the CIF and the upcoming Healthcare Summit. Thank you so much for taking the time to coming and talking to us.
Thank you very much, Amitha. Let us please help us to bring more people for the conference.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
All the best. We will be there, and I'm sure the viewers will be there too.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
तो आज डॉक्टर लकी लक्ष्मणन ने हमें सिखाया है कि we can make a difference in the community by using our own passion and skills. Well, that's a wrap for this week. Continue to follow us on Facebook and Twitter and write to me at VJ Amitha spotlight@gmail.com. We will continue to bring you inspiring guests who will share their success stories. Until next week, this is Amitha signing you off, encouraging you to follow your own aspirations to your own spotlight.